Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Norfatihah binti Mohd Anuar Yuraly. So this is my video presentation for the IAP panels with the title is Mobile E-Waste Monitoring System with the Image Detection. Alright, so what is the e-waste? E-waste is the electronic waste that also known as the e-waste is any electronic product or product containing the electronic components that has reached to the end of its usable life cycles. Unbeknownst to many consumers, electronics actually contain the toxic substances, so they must be handled with care when no longer wanted or needed. Next slide is for the problem statement. For this project, there are three problem statements. So the first one is the monitoring, which is a person need to manually monitor the status of the bin, and the second one is when the level of the threshold reach the limit, it will send a message to the concerned person, and the concerned person will immediately take an action. And the last one is the detection of the object, which is the object will be decided first whether it is an e-waste or not, and if it's an e-waste, the lid will be open. Next is the objective and the scope of the project. So this project have three objectives, which is the first one is to design a mobile e-waste monitoring system that able to detect the level of the fullness of the e-waste bin. The second one is to develop an Android application for monitoring system. And the last one is to detect and identify the type of the e-waste by using the edge technique. So for the scope of the project, actually this system using two microcontrollers, which is the Node MCU and also the Raspberry Pi 3B. The ultrasonic sensor will detect the level of the garbage, and by using the TensorFlow Lite, it will detect the type of the e-waste. Next, the CAN will send the transmission to the cloud and it will store the data. So the monitoring can be done by using the Android application, and the email also will be sent through the MQTT package. We move to the limitation of the components. So after reviewing some of the research paper, the final components were chosen to completing this project, which is for the monitoring part, the Node MCU is chosen as it is more stable and has a high speed. Next, for the image detection part, the Raspberry Pi 3B and the Pi camera, as the Pi camera will detect the image, so it will be chosen as for the detection part. And lastly, ultrasonic sensor is used to detect the level of the threshold, and next, servo motor will act as an open and close of the lid. So basically, I'm using three types of software, which is the first one is the Blink apps, which is the Blink application. So the Blink application will detect the distance from the threshold, and it can be monitored through the apps, and also the email alert will be sent. At the same time, by using the CAN also, the percentage from the threshold also can be monitored. So the data will be stored in the CAN, and the email alert also will be sent. And the last one, by using the TensorFlow Lite, to detect the image, the TensorFlow Lite will using the picture model by using the COCO datasheet to achieve the object detection. For the hardware part, as you can see, this is the implementation of the hardware, which is the first one is for the ultrasonic sensor with the Node MCU, the second one the Node MCU with the LCD, third one is the Raspberry Pi 3B with the Pi camera, and the last one the servo motor with the Raspberry Pi 3.
What's wrong? You've been asking but I don't have an answer. How come? I'm still thinking, let's pretend to fall asleep now. When we get old, will we regret this?
Okay, next, this level of percentage will be displayed on the LCD to show the level of the threshold from the bin left. So, based on these two figures, it shows that the ultrasonic sensor has successfully detected the level of the level of the fullness of the bin, which is this is for the percentage. Okay, so at the same time, the CAN will show the same level of the percentage of the bin based on the correct channel and also the correct device name, as I named this channel as the e-waste monitoring, ESP8266 at the channel 1.
Feels like I've known you my whole life. I can see right through your eyes. I don't know where we're going, but
As for the distance, the blink application will display the value of the distance that left in the blink. When the distance is less than 5 cm, the notification will pop up to alert the person. A concerned person will receive the email alert when the level of the threshold in the bin is reached the 90% and the distance is less than 5 cm. So it will automatically send the email alert to the both cane and also the blink application. So this is the example on how the Pi camera will detect the image. And the Pi camera, as you can see, is successfully detect the mouse, the cell phone and also the keyboard. So the next slide, I will show you the video demo on how this system will gonna work. So enjoy! This is the overall connection for this project. As you know that I'm using two microcontrollers, which is, as you can see, the Raspberry Pi 3B is interfaces with the Pi camera and also the servo motor, and the second microcontroller is the Node MCU that interface with the LCD I2C LCD. I'm using the I2C LCD and also with the ultrasonic sensor. This is the implementation of the servo motor, ultrasonic sensor and also the Pi camera on the prototype. As for conclusion, this project had successfully overcome all the limitations and all the three objectives that had been fulfilled to complete this project, which is my three objectives is to monitor the level of the threshold of the dustbin. Next is to make the application that can be alert the authorized person, and the last one is to detect the image by using the edge technique. For some recommendation and also the future work for this project is this system can be enhanced by using only one microcontroller. Next, to create the multiple location for the bin, as in this project I'm just able to make just one location. Next is for the train a new model by adding more image of the e-waste that had not been declared on the in the Coco datasheet. And lastly, the e-waste lead can be set as the auto lock to prevent the servo motor from the damage. So I think that's all for me. Thank you.